Hey, good morning, folks. Got a couple of comments and questions about how I was feeding these plants and what type of watering was I doing. Was I watering from the top? Was I watering from the bottom? That kind of deal. So what I figured I'd do today, I'm getting ready to spray some tea and also go ahead and water the plant. So I figured I'd show you exactly what I was doing in that regard. What I got first here is my tea. I do 2 buckets at a time. I've already pulled everything out of the first bucket. This is my bag of compost. I use rabbit manure and some other leaf compost in it right now since I didn't have any good horse manure stuff. And what I do, I put 2 of these in the bottom of it. And then inside the bag itself, I put 2 smaller stones to get some aeration inside the bag. And then it's just a matter of adding some molasses to it. I think Stymie had recommended adding a whole bunch of other things. I'm trying to get that stuff together so when I make my next batch, I can add a few more nutrients in it. And one of the things he had recommended, and which makes sense to me, was using multiple types of compost because there's a lot of different kind of bacteria. So rather than just using horse manure compost or whatever you have, try to mix it up. So that's why this batch I've actually got rabbit manure and regular leaf compost. And this is my manure right here. Lady from town gave me this a few weeks ago. It's already pretty well aged. Still got some pellets in there here and there, but rabbit manure I think is one of the best supposedly you can get because you can put it right on your garden. So what I'm going to do is clean out this bag right here, take what's inside of it, spread it around a couple plants, and then put it over the top of my sprayer right here. I got a sprayer specifically for tea only. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this about 3 to 1 and spray it on my plants. Alright, so I took the water hose, cleaned my strainer out real good, and all I'm going to do is stick this down inside the sprayer like so. Alright, and you make sure you got this stirred up, and it smells good. It's got a really sweet smell to it. Let you know that it's okay if you ever make any and get ready to use it and it smells like crap, throw it away because something went wrong. So we just take this and what I'm going to do to keep from making a real big mess is take this in a cup, pour it in here like that. I can handle this little cup right here a lot better. I can that 5-gallon bucket trying to pour into the sprayer. A little bit more. That ought to work there. Alright. Take the strainer out, so that ought to be pretty clean. It should go through the sprayer with no problem. Alright, after you pour your tea in, make sure you shake it, mix it up, pump up your handle, and then all I'm going to do is just spray the leaves. This is all we do. Make sure you get up under here real good. Get a good coating on the leaves, get the good bacteria up here. And this is the I think foliar spray that Misty had asked about one time as far as doing anything for the leaves. And you just spray it on there, and you can't really hurt the plant. Cutting it down 3 to 1, you're not going to hurt it at all. And the other thing I'll do when it comes to feeding and using the tea, I'll take a bucket, get about half full of water, and take some of my tea. Just pour some in there, still trying to get it about 3 to 1, something like that. Don't want it too strong. And then I'll just come by real quick, a whole lot easier in a bucket than a watering hose, and just put a little tea right on top of it, feed that plant that way. Alright, the other thing I do is a little bit different with Miracle Grow. Some people mix it up in the pots and then pour it. I just go ahead and sprinkle a little Miracle Grow in here like this. Do that, doing it once a week, usually on Sunday, but I switched over to Saturday now. Today's Saturday, so today's feeding day anyway. So what I do is just put some Miracle Grow in there, and then come by and water it in real good. And that's a whole lot faster than trying to mix that stuff up in a watering can and then trying to apply it. I would like to be able to get to some type of organic feeding using just the compost tea, but that's something I want to do a test and work on. And then as far as watering, it's cloudy, cool day today, so they're not going to take a whole lot of water up, so I'm not worried about having a whole lot of water left in the bottom of the tub. But if it was a really hot day, I'd make sure they had, you know, a couple inches or so in the bottom, and then still water from the top. Make sure that this bag right here stay plenty moist, because they're going to take up a whole lot of water during the daytime on a hot sunny day. If you could open this bag up and see this whole thing right here, this whole bag is one solid root mass. So anything you put in here, water or anything to feed it, there's plenty of roots to take it right up. It's not a matter of trying to put it in and then trying to make it go a foot deep into the ground or something like that where the roots are. You can feed it from the top. And I believe Stymie was talking about this. Your plants more or less feed from the top and water from the bottom. So as long as you got some water down there for them, and then when you come by for me like once a week to feed them, put your food in here, water it in real good, and then that plant will be set for another week. Alright, the other thing I do is I put Epsom salt in there, and I'll just sprinkle like maybe a teaspoon or half a tablespoon, something like that. And what I do is do that about every 2 weeks. So I did that last weekend, so I'm not going to do that today. But same thing, I'll put the Miracle Grow in here and the Epsom salt and combine, just water it in real good, and the plants seem to do just fine. So that's pretty much how I do it, using Miracle Grow and Epsom salt right now. I want to do a test, Miracle Grow versus compost tea, so I'm going to put two plants side by side and try that out and see if I can make it. So if I can make it grow on compost tea alone with no synthetic fertilizer, that would be great. That would allow me to go ahead and have a much better soil mix right here that would stay nutrient rich a whole lot longer, I think, as opposed to artificially pepping it up with Miracle Grow. And the watering, pretty much the same deal. That's how I do it. I generally water from the top, but on a hot day I want to make sure there is the water in the bottom, because that plant will need the additional water. And by the way, ain't there some nice tomatoes right there? These Coustrelets, real nice tomatoes. Also, since it's been about a week since I made the last video, I'll show y'all a couple of things that changed since then real quick. And here's my old girl right here. Just let y'all see what she's doing. She done got up to the top again. I just dropped it down yesterday, and you can see I don't have much string left up there, so to drop her again, I gotta retie, add on some more string to be able to do it. So what I had to do, you see the stem coming on down here, all twisted out around. I've actually got it tied off to the back right here, so I could keep her going. But you see that stem is all curved up, warped up, but she's still loaded down with tomatoes. And as long as she wants to make tomatoes, I'm going to keep pulling this stem out of the way and let the girl go. Right, real quick, you know, in the last video I showed you the eggplant that had been kind of root bound, over water, wasn't doing so well. They are doing a whole lot better, much better. And the moringa right there, still coming along, got plenty of new growth in it, looking good. Actually, I got 3 more. This come out of the second batch, so I got 3 more moringa right here. And this is my ringers in the biggest tomato contest. I think somebody has come up with one that was like an ounce bigger than the one that I had. So these are delicious. I'm not talking about the flavor. This is the variety. And look at the stems on these things. The guy brought them to me, and they were about like this right here. So I potted them in my mix that I mix up, and look at the stem on this thing right here. You can see all the little roots coming out at the top already. Not these 2 plants, but this variety actually holds the world record for the largest tomato at 7 pounds. So I'm going to see if I can get a great big old tomato off of this. And since I didn't see one of potential in the greenhouse, I had to go and bring in a couple of ringers. So hope that helps somebody, answer some questions. And I appreciate y'all watching, all the comments, suggestions, everything like that. Anything somebody can do to help me, I certainly appreciate it. So thanks a lot. Take care, and God bless all of you.